Thanks to the support as a channel member, Length. Here we go then, boys and girls. It's performance review day. We've won the league. We're in the semi-final of the Greek Cup. Mrs Wearmouth cannot be anything other than utterly delighted with me. Let's have a little... What? Failed. So my goal was Super League 2. Challenge for the Super League 2. And I failed. The board are disappointed that the team only won promotion from the Super League 2 this season. Oh, I need to get this woman on the phone. This is ridiculous.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected.
Hello and welcome to part 7 of the Greek Odyssey. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the second leg of the Greek Cup semi-final, plus the final league game I'll show you this season. It's against our closest rivals, Giannina. We've already won the league, though. We're miles ahead of them. As you can see, we continued our excellent run of form. We did lose a game, and we haven't done an invincible season because we lost away against Giannina in the first time we faced them in this Champions Group thing. So that's a little bit of a blot on the season, but I can handle the season where we only lose once. Apparently, Mrs Wearmouth can't, because as we've just seen, she thinks we've failed to challenge for promotion. Next year, she wants promotion. I've passed that, which I think is the only thing keeping me in a job, because she's also very disappointed I've not been signing young players. She is happy that I've stuck within the wage budget and is reserving judgment on the youth academy stuff, which we're on a C+ at the moment. The finances are in a mess, but we have had our first youth intake through, which I guess they're all up in the under-19s now, and we have had some absolute gems come through. As you can see, several of them have been pinched by Name in the Game channel members. So these are the stars of the latest intake. Mark Tracy, yeah, that's what he looks like. Ryan Lawson. We've got two good centre-backs. I don't know how we're getting a Portuguese centre-back in. Portugal and Greece are quite far away last time I looked at a map. But then I'm not a geography expert. I could be wrong. There was one more that had a name taken because he was so good. Have I already promoted him to the first team? That wouldn't surprise me if I had. First team squad, sort by age. Ryan Lawson's already in there. Mark Tracy's already in. You can see we've got several. If we have a look at this, there's lots of very good young players hovering around the first team now. So that bodes well for the future. Unless you're Mrs Wearmouth, because she's got a grumpy on. Shall we play the Greek Cup semi-final second leg? Remember, we're 2-0 down from the first leg. This is now our home leg. We're hoping for a big attendance. The capacity of our stadium is nearly 15,000 people. It'll be interesting to see if we get anywhere near that. I would suggest we probably won't, because we haven't. That's the wrong button. Because we haven't at any point this season. The highest home attendance we've had was against Panathinaikos back in the 5th round of the Greek Cup when we got to 7,000 people. So it would be nice if we could push 10,000 for a chance for only a second Greek Cup final in the club's history. It's not going to happen because Olympiakos, I think, have already won their Super League 1, already qualified for the Champions League. So, yeah, they're quite good. But maybe they'll take their foot off the gas today. Maybe. We're going with Henderson in goal. A back four of Menendez, Zizopoulos, Jovanovic and Balakis. Halilaj at the base of the midfield. Gino and Blazic ahead of him. And then Iritia and Thomas supporting Nikos up front. This is probably going to be the last time you see Nikos, because obviously he's one of... Same with Blazic and Iritia and Thomas. All these players who are leaving us in the summer, there's no point playing them in the league anymore. But obviously, for this game... We want to put the very best team we can out there, and you never know. We're huge underdogs. No pressure on you to succeed. Our best chance is with the players that got us to this point, even if they're not going to be the players that are trying to keep us up next year. But we do have that selection of Super League 1 quality players, which made the run to the title such an easy one. And you never know what can happen over 90 minutes. If we can grab 2 goals here. It seems unlikely, but imagine if we can. It'd be ridiculous. Balakis with the throw. Oh, my word. Thomas has scored. It's 1-0 to Apollon. Look at the state. We've got people on the lower tier, for goodness sake. This is unheard of. I've never even seen us open the lower tier before. Big, long throw. We're doing this lower league style, boys and girls. And we are 1-0 up. It's still 2-1 to Olympiacos on aggregate. But just temporarily, we're dreaming a little bit because with an hour of the match still to go, we're only 1 goal away from an equaliser. Although Balakis has just given the ball away there. Olympiacos are in. Anderson makes the save. There's no one sitting on the picnic benches behind that goal. Not enough people in to make them want to sit. I mean, these benches, they look like perfect places to sit and watch the football. I don't know why nobody is. I don't know why those benches are there. That bin's not even overflowing. It's so unrealistic. But the ground looks absolutely packed. Maybe we have sold out, which, I mean, that bodes well for next season. I don't know how much of it is because it's Olympiacos who are in town and how much of it is because it's the semi-final of the Cup. But we have absolutely packed out our stadium here, which is awesome. Right, you've got nothing to lose. Go out there and give it your best shot. I think that is the best team talk I could possibly give in the circumstances. And you just never know. Another long throw, a corner, set piece of any kind. You just never know what might happen. I don't want to go too attacking and leave gaps open at the back. To be honest, even if we managed to pull off a 1-0 on the night, that would be a great moment in the history of this football club. Nikos has not turned up, so we're changing 2 of our attacking players quite early as we try and go for a goal. You know what? I said we're not going to do it. We are going to go attacking. We're going to show some passion. We want to try and grab this goal. There's nervous players in the Olympiacos team. This is potentially huge. Menendez, terrible free kick from him. I don't know what he's actually trying to achieve there, but all he's done is put us under incredible pressure. And we have an absolute sellout here at our stadium. 10,000 of them are Olympiacos fans, though. But, you know, we're taking their money. We'll take anybody's money. It's fine. Halilaj to Gino. Plays it into Menendez, who's on the overlap here. Cross comes in. Oh, my word. If that goes in, this place erupts probably into a chorus of boos because so many of them are Olympiacos fans. Right, Fat John, get on there. Do what Fat John does. Come on now. Imagine a Fat John winner. It'll be his last kick for the club because he's another one who's leaving in the summer. But he's become something of a cult hero in his 1 year here at Apollon, and it would be nice to see him score as part of it. And I think that's the goal that kills us off. We gave it a good go. I mean, we can only believe after what we've seen today that certainly if this 11 were to play in the division above, we'd have a good chance of finishing in the top half. We've beaten Panathinaikos. We beat another team from the top league. I can't remember who it was. And we've given Olympiacos a good run for their money. But obviously it's going to be a much younger side than this that actually ends up playing up there next year. So it's going to be a big test for how those youngsters cope with the step up to the top division. Balakis trying to win the ball back again on that right-hand side. It would be sad for that to happen because it would have been nice to at least keep them to a draw. But they've just gone up a gear in the last 20 minutes or so of the game. They have been the better team, but obviously they are the better team. They're going to be playing in the Champions League next year. We're just excited to be allowed to play in the same division as them, and they're going to be mixing it up in the Champions League. So we can't complain too much. Only losing 2-0 at their place, holding them to, I mean, we were ahead in this game for more than half of it. I think our heads can be held high after this. This is one of the great cup runs in the history of this club. Like I say, one of their big claims to fame when I was researching them was that once, 30 years ago, they got to the cup final. So the fact that we got very close from a lower division this time round, I'm pretty proud of the boys today, that's for sure. But it looks like, well, forget it looks like, it's definitely not to be. We've got 30 seconds to score 3 goals. And even then, if away goals count, it won't matter. Gaitanidis is in and scores, and we deserve that. They didn't beat us at our place. It's 2-2. And I'm even prouder now than I was before. It's a lovely finish from Gaitanides. He does very well to win the ball back there. It's poor from their keeper, but that is a very, very good finish. He's done the keeper at his near post there, and it had to be perfectly placed, and it was. And I am super proud of him. That has been fantastic. I don't know if there's much in the way of prize money. I mean, you know what? That's not too bad. It doesn't really help the overall situation, but it's certainly better than a kick in the teeth. How did we do with gate receipts as well? So that's prize money. Gate receipts this month. We've earned nearly a quarter of our season's gate receipts this month. Last month, earning even more. What on earth? Oh, that was because it was the away leg against the Olympiacos, so I guess there was some kind of money share there as well. So the 2 ties against Olympiacos have made like 75% of our total gate receipts for the season. So that's 172,000 for that. Another, let's say, 300,000 in gate receipts. So we've made nearly £500,000 off that cup run, which, I mean, things would be even worse if we hadn't have had it. Right, now it's time for our final league game that you're going to see of the season, and we'll play some of the youth so you can meet some of the youngsters. Many changes then for the Giannina game. We've got Alexandros Anagnostopoulos coming in goal just because he's got one of my favourite names ever. He was actually at the club before I arrived. We've played him 4 times. I just wanted to be able to say Anagnostopoulos on a video because it's a great name. We've got Vasilis Vitlis coming in at left back. Again, he's someone who's been here since I arrived. Not really used him. Wanted to play him because his hair is a different colour at the front to what it is everywhere else. And I think that's something worth sharing with you. Makis Chios is one of our 18-year-old youngsters, 4.5-star potential. He's one of the ones who was here right at the very start. He didn't come through the latest youth intake. He has played a few games for us already and will definitely be part of the setup next season. Kyrgias, you've seen plenty of. He's been with us forever and is, I would suggest, probably quite unlikely to leave, even though me being a monster, he's transfer listed because he's 30. You know the rules of these saves by now. And then we've got another youngster, Calla Pettis, who can play anywhere across the back 4. He's playing right back today. Long term, he's probably a centre-back because he's over 6 foot tall, and that makes him a centre-back. But right back is fine for him today. Halilaj, we know all about at the base of the midfield. Petralis, he's a 22-year-old midfielder who really is just... He's been a victim of playing in the same position as Fat John and Halilaj, and because of that, he's not really got a look in. So let's give him a little look because he's under contract for another year, inexplicably. And when so many players were leaving, he somehow had a 2-year contract already. So he's going to be here next year. We should probably see if he's any good. And Cole is leaving, but we're running out of midfielders. So... It's already identified as an area we need to fill up in the summer. Luris, you know all about up front. He has now scored a couple of times for us. 2 goals from his first 7 games for us. We're looking for big things in his future. Again, Gaitanides, we know all about. He is here on loan from PAOK, but I would like to bring him in again next year if we can. And then Karagounis on that right-hand side. He's another one who is, although he's older, he's still here and hasn't agreed to leave yet. So on that basis, we're giving him the opportunity to earn the right to win a contract for next season, unlike those rascals who've already decided to leave. Right, I expect you to keep your run going in this game. It is a very rotated team. If this team still manages to play well and pull off a good result against the other side, against another side who could potentially be with us in Superliga 1 or Super League, it's not Superliga, Super League 1 next season, then I'm feeling confident about the youth setup that we've got. If we get battered, then I am a little bit worried that we're going to come straight back down again because we're not going to... What on earth did he just get sent off for? That looked like such a nothing challenge. Well. Can we see the red card again, boys and girls? Do we not get to watch the replay of the red? Right, here we go. This is what he's got sent off for. I mean, that's... How is that? So he wins the ball, doesn't touch the man, gets sent off for going in with 2 feet, apparently. in so much as he tackled with one while standing on the other. That's ridiculous. And that kind of ruins my experiment now. We've got no money to bring players in over the summer. So unlike in a usual series where we'd have a big old transfer special coming up tomorrow, I imagine it will just be a few cheap free transfers that I've managed to scrape together, and then loads of our youth players promoted to the first team, and a big old cross of the fingers. We're certainly not going to be signing anybody for money. I would suggest we won't be selling anybody either, because anybody that has any kind of value is out of contract in the summer or is already gone, unless one of our youngsters go. And that's the one thing that I guess could prove interesting if someone comes in and makes a decent sized offer for someone like Halilaj. But as we saw back in January, I'm not entirely certain what a good sized transfer offer is at this level. We sold Larea for I think 125,000. Choo Choo went for less than 30,000. And these were the prices that the players were forcing through those values. It wasn't that I was selling them way below market value. It seems like they were the market values for those players. So as much as we think Halilaj is great and Luris has got a good future, for example, I don't know what that translates to in the Greek player market. Karagounis is having a game today. He's already had 1 goal disallowed and has just scored an absolute screamer. I said this was going to be his opportunity to show that he deserves to be part of the squad next year, and that's exactly what he's doing here. It's a lovely pass from Luris. Karagounis in loads and loads of space, and that is a nice goal. And 10-man Apollon are beating second place Giannina at the moment. So I'm feeling confident in our youth, in our youngsters. Hopefully they're going to... The only goal I've got next year is to stay up. I don't know what Mrs Wearmouth's got in mind. She's not returning my calls at the moment. She still thinks I've failed this season because she doesn't really understand how the league works. She's going to be in for such a surprise when she sees we're in the next league up next year, if she even notices. Just like me, she doesn't know the name of half of these Greek teams either. She probably won't even know we're in the next league. Right, penalty here, and it is 1-1. I feel like this ref, I don't want to say corrupt. This ref is not on our side today, though. With the red card and the penalty, he's doing his very best to help Giannina. Let's avenge what happened last time we played them. We don't want them to have back-to-back victories over us. That really does start to leave a sour taste in the mouth for this season when we've obviously been better than them, but now they're ahead. I mean, we are down to 10 men, and we are playing the youth team. I don't want to see the replay because it's going to make me sad. We're still 18 points clear of them, but it has taken the edge off of a dominating season, knowing that the team that's come up with us have beaten us the last 2 times we played them. Even though this one was absolutely the referee's fault because he's corrupt. Corrupt referee. We want to keep an eye on that name. K. Balaksoukas. We don't like K. Balaksoukas. I'm trying to remember his name. I can't even... I thought they had a player with the same name in their team there. I was gonna be straight on the phone to the club lawyers, which we probably can't afford because we've got no money. Well, right. Gaitanidis wants to come off. Do we say goodbye to some of our players who are going to be leaving? I guess that's fair. Gaitanidis can come off and Iritia can come on for him. Actually, you know what? Thomas has got a better name. He can come on and play on that left-hand side. And we're going to bring Nikos on for one last time as well. A last chance to see Nikos. There's the corner, and there's Kyrgias, and there's an equaliser. Lovely stuff. It's a very good header as well. A 5th goal of the season for Kyrgias, who is another one who's really trying to justify his existence next year. And 5 goals from corners. He might just be doing it. Balakis now with a long throw. If we can score here, this will be awesome. Halilaj from range. And it goes... just wide. I really, really want to pick up this win now. Let's go attack him. No, let's go attacking. Another long throw from Balakis. He's so dangerous with these. That one was poor. But usually he's dangerous with them. And Petralis has done brilliantly to win the ball back there. Thomas now on the left-hand side playing it into Nikos. Potentially for the last time you see Nikos through on goal and he doesn't manage to get the shot away, but he has won a corner. And we have been dangerous from these set pieces all day long. That one, again, not so much. Apparently, when I identify we're good at something, we stop being good at it. So, we're rubbish at beating Giannina. Anything? Universe? You giving me anything back for that? No, you're going to... Apparently, I can now predict the truth. Petralis with a good clearance. Nikos now turning like he's a double-decker bus, but still somehow comes away with the ball. Karagounis is here. Karagounis couldn't get the shot away, but he's got the ball back for the cross. Can't find an Apollon player. Thomas is there, hits the post, and it comes off Nikos, who had a very late opportunity to grab us one more win. We haven't managed to do it, but at least we didn't get defeated, because that would have been very upsetting. The ref was against us. Everything was against us. And we still managed to avoid defeat. Next season might not be a disaster. Yes, we're going to... I should have considered appealing. Whoops. Probably should have done, considering it wasn't even a foul. But we'll just fine him and move on. Right, there's your confirmation we've won the league. There's your confirmation Mrs Wearmouth's still not happy about it. And we'll be back tomorrow with transfers. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Couldn't remember what I say normally there. And thank you very much for watching.